What's good, people? I try to play this game twice a day, once for an encounter, once for a shootout, but now I end up taking breaks on a Saturday, which means I still play about 6 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good amount of time to learn the game. And I'm telling you all this because what I'm about to tell you should make sense. There's a spawn point across the water. Let me try to spell it out for you. When I spawned in and I ran and you saw me aim somewhere, that somewhere was the spawn point. That's literally where the guy would spawn at. But you saw, he moved. Now for me in this case, I got real lucky. Whenever you see someone spawn, or well, not see someone spawn, whenever you know there's a spawn point nearby and you check on said spawn point and they're not there, don't panic. What you should do instead is think. That's what you should do. That's what you should do in most cases, but you think, if I were him, where would I go? And once you have that answer, you proceed to have a vision or a visual path on that route. People, that is next level gameplay. That's how you get in people's heads. But Jet, how do I do that? By playing the game. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Just play the game. And don't be afraid to die. There is death in learning, and there is learning in death in this here game. And if you sit in the house for the entire match and you don't die, what are you learning? The colors of the inside of the house, how well the interior designer did their job. You're not learning anything. The best players have numerous deaths upon their record. Numerous. But that's how they got so good. Well, let me put an asterisk mark by that. That's how they got so good naturally. There are some players, like a guy literally called Vigor Cheater, who bought Cronus and proceed to just wipe the floor with everyone. Yeah, that's not me. How I got to where I am right now, I died a lot. I can tell you the first time I died, but I can't tell you the first time that I got a kill. I don't remember that. As a matter of fact, I will tell you that. People, the first time that I died in this here game, the very first time, me, as a new-founded raincoat, walking onto station, Victoria Station. It was at the top of the map. You know, where the RV and the car and that little pathway and that tiny little house is. Yeah. Well, not even that tiny little house, that campsite, basically. It's basically a campsite. I walked from the top of the map to that campsite. But I was going from the outside in. And that's when I spotted my first ever player in Vigor. I had a Thompson in my hands. And I said to myself, oh, a guy. Let me shoot at him. And I shot. Homeboy turned around, opened fire on me, and I got headshotted. That was the first time I ever died in this here game. And that memory sticks with me. Now, am I trying to be prolific and philosophic? No. But to me, that death signified the first time that I learned, okay, maybe wait a little bit before I shoot to ensure I get a headshot. And people, that's how I got started. That's how. You gotta be active in this here game. You gotta be. Because if you don't, how are you gonna learn that the game operates how it operates? Think about it like this. When you're in school, the best way to learn is to ask questions. Sure, you get stuff wrong, but it's the feedback that helps. But in this game, you give yourself feedback. And, so does the guy that kills you. The guy that kills you just shows you that what you thought was right was not right. If you sit in the corner of a house for an entire time, and a guy hears you and proceeds to storm the house and just magically headshots you, he knew you were there. He wasn't cheating. He knew you were there because he heard you. Case in point, if you're in a house and you bought no weapon, and all of a sudden you find a pistol and you reload the weapon, if someone is close enough to hear you load that pistol, that Luger, that M1911, whatever the case may be, if someone's close enough to hear that pistol being loaded, you're dead. You're dead. Because who in their right mind with a good weapon, a decent weapon, M16, G3, A74, hell, even a Mosin, who in their right mind with a good weapon would load a pistol? Nobody. You loading a pistol just told the guy outside, all I have is a pistol, I'm defenseless. And they're going to rush you and kill you. Right? So, just play the damn game. And I'm telling you this because, you know what? Here's a shameful plug. I made a video, and in that video, I did an experiment. And here's what the video is called. I know it's a bit zoomed in, but honestly, you get what you need to get. The new player experiment. That's exactly what the video is called. Now, I bring this up because I may have said some things in yesterday's video, I may have, that weren't particularly nice. Am I going to apologize for it? No. Did I get a point across? Yes. However, if you still need some more of a point to be thrown across to you, check out that video called The New Player Experiment. It's about a year old, but still gets the job done. Now, for the first time in this here video, I'm going to talk about gameplay. I know, wow, we're about, 75% of the way down this video, and I'm finally going to talk about what I'm doing? Yes, crazy. So, 2 kills underneath my belt, and the tower was hit. The tower is near here. But the tower is also outside, which is quite nice for my eyes, but I don't see or hear the guy walking. But Jack, get closer. Yeah, I could do that, but I got a rifle. I don't want to get too close when I have a rifle and no kind of secondary. So instead of going down there and trying to find him, what do I do instead? I said instead 3 times in the past 30 seconds. My apologies for my poor grammar. I think if I just hit the tower, where would I go? Well, considering how not much has happened in terms of gunfights, yes, we heard a bugle go off, but that's just one bugle. Oh, it's not just one bugle. Huh. It's also an MGV. There's a whole gunfight going on down here.
Airdrop incoming. Get ready.
There is indeed a whole gunfight going on down here. So, maybe I'm heading toward the right direction? Maybe the guy who hit the tower is now in a gunfight. And what I always tell you all, gunfights attract players. Now, y'all know me, I do not go into that tunnel. I don't care if I got a shotgun. I will not go into that tunnel because there's only 2 ways out. And one of those 2 ways, someone's probably going to be there waiting for you because they heard you shoot. But that's just how the game works. So I've learned to not go into that tunnel, no matter the circumstance. The airdrop, it has announced it's the rifle. And where is it going to land at? Well, how about this? Right in front of me.
yourself as a killer. But will you stay alive when others know where you are?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. That fourth killer, y'all didn't get to see it. The recording ran out right as I pulled the trigger. I know. I'm sorry. In hindsight, I could have recorded the last minute and put that in there, but I was focused on getting out. And I was focused on getting out because the guy that I just killed, the third guy, was shooting at someone. Therefore, someone was nearby. And I didn't want to become a threat and linger in the match for any more than I needed to. Because y'all have seen me becoming a threat and then getting slightly cocky and then I die. So, I didn't want to do that. Therefore, I'm out of here. So people, what can you learn from this here gameplay? Well, not necessarily a lot, in my opinion. Because all I did was move. But that's kind of the secret of learning the game. Moving. It sucks because the developers took out spectator mode and they blamed it on the cheaters, which I do understand. People, the best way to learn how the game works is to watch people in spectator mode after you die. That's kind of the best way. Learn from the guy that killed you, because obviously if he killed you, he had a leg up on you, if not better than you. But there are special, probably most cases where the guy's a hostile bush. In which case, you leave, message him, and tell him he's ass. Tell him Jet sent you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.